What's up, guys? Today is a downright treat because we are having my friend Graham Stephan back on the channel. A few months back, in between making, millions in real estate and crushing the YouTube game and getting himself a fiance, Graham made the time to take a spin in the old Tesla with me and talk shop. Not to mention, make a young Chick-fil-A employee's dreams come true.
Yeah. Get right there.
That's Joel. Yeah. But I gotta be honest, back then, Graham and I were still in the getting to know each other phase. I had to be careful and play it cool so I wouldn't scare him off like I have everyone else in my life.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
But since then, we've become BFFF, best financial friends forever. So today, we're gonna do BFFF stuff and get to the truth behind how Graham made his millions in real estate and the advice he has for aspiring real estate investors. But before we put this video into drive, help me rev things up by clicking that like and subscribe button. And make sure to share this with your buddy who's convinced he is the next big real estate mogul of the American Midwest. He'll love it.
Pop up.
We're about to get some coffee. Graham, welcome back to Millionaires and Cars Getting Coffee.
Thank you so much.
You are currently the only repeat customer. How does it feel?
Wait a second, I was also your first.
You were the first.
The first ever, and the first to come back on again.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Have you made any big financial mistakes since we last hung out? Or only good decisions?
Not really. Everything's really been on autopilot recently. But the only thing I'm gonna say, I threw some money in and so far I'm down a little bit. You know this Sphere in Las Vegas? So I bought a little bit of Sphere stock. It was the only individual stock that I had purchased in the last year and a half, 2 years, something like that. Guess what? That's down. The one stock I buy so far is down.
That's actually shocking. Because all I see on my Instagram and TikTok is my friends going to Vegas to the Sphere to see you too.
It is fantastic.
So I would think in my head, wow, they're doing very well.
Yeah, it's baked into the price. So I bought it at 42 something. I think it's worth 38 to 40. But
Ouch.
it is what it is. I'm just gonna hold it, and that's a good reminder to not do that again.
Hey, stop it!
Dave reviewed your portfolio when you were with us last time. Did you take any of his advice?
Yes, he gave me some great advice to stick with what I know, which is real estate. So I've been keeping that in the back of my mind, but I've been looking at real estate. I can't see any deals. I don't see anything that's worth buying, and that's the hard part for me. I don't want to rush into something. Anytime I purchase real estate, I have such a gut feeling that this is a great purchase, it's really good, and I have such confidence that I'm not going to lose money on it, that it's going to make a certain return. I don't have that now.
It's not worth the risk to you on top of how expensive it is because
Correct.
it's not a deal.
There's not enough of a profit margin. I'm just personally not seeing the advantage.
So you still have 5 rental properties?
I do.
Okay, how are those going?
Everything's fine.
Good
No issues.
tenants?
Yeah, I had a few repairs come up recently, which it's just like they all bundled together at the same time.
It all happens at once.
Yeah.
Are these repairs, are they like $1,000 repairs when they happen? Are they 5,000?
Multiple thousands. So one of them was a heater, and I spent $3,000 on this wall heater, and it broke.
I broke it. It burned my hand, so I punched it.
The past guy who worked on it gave me the runaround and stopped responding back to me. And when I confronted him about it, showing him from the gasket, here's what you did wrong, and I'm not gonna go after the guy. So now I got another quote for, I think it was $3,000, another $3,000 to replace the thing that was already new. And then I spent another $2,000 on a brand new washer dryer that needed to be replaced. $1,000 on outdoor landscape lights. But on the plus side, one of them has gone without any repairs or any major issues in 3 years.
That's nice.
Everything else needed was under repair.
Do you increase rent every year?
I should.
Do you have a philosophy around that?
The places where I get market rent, when a place goes vacant, I will reset the rent at market, and then I get it.
Oh,
so there's one place that I was renting, I think it was $2,700. I put it up at 32, instantly got it.
Wow.
And so that was great.
So you kind of like when it vacates because...
Yeah. The other one, the people have been there for 3 years, 4 years. Fantastic tenants. I really like them a lot. Yeah, sure, I could optimize. And they're probably under market $500-600 a month. But they occupy 2 of the units. Always pay on time. I really like them a lot. It benefits me too. If they leave, my life is going to be more difficult. Sure, I could re-rent it. But then how much am I spending to bring it back up to re-rent? What is that worth over 2-3 years?
Oh, makes sense.
Even if it's a break even, it makes more sense. I'd rather just keep the people that I know.
Yeah. Well, I'm taking you to a little local coffee shop here called Honest Coffee Roasters. Last time we got Chick-fil-A, and you got recognized by Joel.
Yeah.
If you remember that nice fella.
I do.
That's Joel.
Yeah.
But now we can't get recognized because there's no drive-through. I think the team is going to bring it to us because they're servant-hearted. Look at that.
Oh.
Okay. Graham, tell the people what you got. Thank you so much.
This?
Absolutely.
So I got a muscle mender. But the
What
crazy
does
thing
that
is,
even mean?
this was $10. I expected for $10 you get like a huge one.
That's kind of small.
Listen, this is bougie Franklin, Tennessee coffee shop. Cheers.
What did you get?
I got
really
something
good.
called the Yammy, which has, they say it's like a PSL. I did it with oat milk, and it's got like little burnt marshmallows in there.
Wow. Mine's good.
Thanks, Dave. How often are you splurging on like a $6 drink?
Never.
Never?
No. If friends want to meet me for lunch, I go to this place, and instead of getting a $15 lunch, there's like an $8 smoothie. It's just as filling and really good.
It becomes your meal.
Yeah, and that's my meal.
Okay, that's
so
fair.
it's like a replacement almost. And I prefer it.
I'm curious, when you look at a property, for let's say I'm buying my first property, you're coaching me for an investment. What am I looking for as far as my return? Like if I buy it at this price, you got to be renting at this price.
So first of all, I'm going to see how much are you spending every month.
Okay.
Right now with interest rates, the amount that you have to get in rent just to break even is going to be really high.
Well, you know me, I'm a cash guy. So I'm saving up, I'm paying cash for a spot. Much to your chagrin.
Yeah.
Controversial take, I know. Let's say I buy it at $400,000 cash. What do I have to rent it for to make it make sense?
Well, you got to think right now, you could get, let's just say 5% on a treasury. Let's just say that's risk-free.
Okay. Like
So
my
it's
high
20
yield savings
grand a year.
account is at 5.4.
Yeah, it's 20 grand a year. Let's just say 25 grand. So what's the premium on that that'll be worth it in terms of vacancy, property taxes,
the risk.
insurance? On 400 grand, I mean, you probably have to be making gross in rent, I don't know, 40 grand a year, give or take, on that property, about 10%.
Then you divide that
Give
by
or take.
12 and get your...
Right, and that's about how much.
It's like, it feels like now is not a great time to be getting into real estate investing.
I don't see opportunity. And I'm the opportunity guy. The thing is that in 95 of the largest 100 metros, renting is cheaper than owning. And so if your ownership costs are going to exceed that from which you could rent, it just doesn't,
It doesn't make mathematical
the math
sense.
is not there.
What's your last, let's say, purchase that was a bigger purchase, over $100 that you were like, this was life-changing. I'd do this 100 times over again.
We migrated newsletters over, and that was a few grand.
That's exciting to migrate newsletters. Man.
I'm just trying to think of
Newsletter
expenses.
migration.
Nerd alert!
The only things I would want, a 1990 Zenith Rolex Daytona, stainless steel.
Ooh, how hard are those to get?
You could buy them.
Oh.
I mean, they're for sale.
How
but
much?
40 grand,
Okay.
but I think they're overpriced. I like
so on
buying,
principle, you're like,
I'm not gonna buy it. Yeah.
you want a deal, or at least like you want to pay market.
I'll only buy something if I feel like there's upside on it, even if I want it. But I believe the true market value of that watch, probably 25. So if someone comes to me and says, hey, I got this watch, 25 with a box and papers,
You would do it.
ready to go, mint condition, absolutely. Because then I know, okay, I'm buying it at market value. I think it'll be worth more in the future. Great.
So all purchases to you, there's got to be some sort of ROI.
Oh, 100%. If I need to sell it, can I break even? Or can I make money?
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm overpaying for something, absolutely not. No matter what it is, I just don't want
Has
to.
there been a purchase you made and regretted it later because like, dang, I spent so much money on that and I just had to eat it?
Probably that heater that we're talking about.
There you go.
Yeah. For some reason, this one's not recording.
We lost yours.
We lost, yeah.
You think it died? All right, Graham, we're back after some technical difficulties. You were too hot for the camera. It just
guess
shut
so.
it down.
What can I say?
You did an interview with my colleague, Ramsey personality Ken Coleman, on his show.
Yeah.
And you guys were talking about burnout.
Sometimes I feel more burnt out than I have been at any other point, less excited.
I feel like there's something new and exciting that you'll have to come up with soon. I don't think you'll stay where you are.
Correct.
What does the future look like for you as a content creator?
Right now, it seems to be the podcast. It's taking a priority right now.
Working from a numbers standpoint, financial standpoint, and from an enjoyability standpoint?
From a financial standpoint, it's a step back. But I get much higher ROI from just making more main channel videos. This one though, I'm less stressed out, I'm happier, I enjoy it more, I get to meet cool people. So I think there's so many other advantages that, yeah, I'm making less, but you know, the other benefits out there I think outweigh it. It would be cool if the podcast surpasses the main channel.
Is there a day when you're like, I don't do YouTube anymore, I'm an angel investor and real estate investor?
At some point, probably, but I have no clue. Anything can happen. Like, I don't know, 5 years ago today, I would have no idea be here today.
That's true.
So another 5 years from now, where I have no clue.
I didn't know how this Thursday was going to go.
Neither did I.
Graham, this has been fun. Let's cheers.
Appreciate it.
To friendship and to growing in our personal finances.
Sounds good.
That's what we're all here to do.
Love it.
Huge thanks to Graham for hanging out with us today. And make sure to let me know in the comments who else you'd like to see in this Millionaires and Cars Getting Coffee series. If we get enough requests for Guy Fieri, I'm going to make a real case for it to PR. And if you're a hopeful homeowner out there, let me tell you, I walk you through this in my new book, Breaking Free from Broke, in the Mortgages chapter. I walk you through all the traps and how to avoid making some big mistakes. And by the way, I want to say thank you to Graham for the very nice blurb he gave me for this book, endorsing it. Here's what he had to say. George dives into the financial topics that should be required learning for absolutely everyone. Whether you're just starting or on your path of financial freedom, this book has every tidbit to help optimize every dollar. Thank you for that, Graham. Appreciate that. If you want to check out the book, I will drop a link in the description below. It's now on pre-sale with some sweet bonuses. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.